Let's talk about tracers, and this is a tracers review. And when we talk about tracers, we're talking about investigative research software for law firms. Okay, so here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So, what is really tracers? Let's talk about that. So, tracers is an investigative research platform for legal professionals. So, we're talking about lawyers, we're talking about legal researchers, legal assistants, and so on and so forth, and court administrators. And with the tracers, users can locate people, their associates, and potential assets. Okay, and legal professionals can also use tracers to search public records databases, including utilities records, inmate searches, and vehicle registrations. Although it's not a case law database, it is a reasonably priced alternative to some of the larger asset and people search providers. And lawyers using Fastcase or Case Desk may find tracers worth a review, in our humble opinion. Okay, and so the thing here is that when we talk about tracers, I want you to think about a tool that has an open API. So this is really great. So you have the capability of integrating third-party apps. So open API, you have public records search. That's totally possible within tracers, and you have criminal record search also. So this is really cool. And what are the cons here? There's no case law possibility, no integrations. I mean, although we have heard that lately that they started working on that. So, but right now there are no integrations. Everything goes through APIs or Zapier for that matter. And you do have custom pricing, and custom pricing can be really expensive depending upon the configuration of your firm. Okay, and so in terms of apps, there is no actually mobile app as of now. Although again they're working on it, so maybe they'll actually roll it out pretty soon. But as of now, you can actually access the database via a web browser. And so in terms of core features within tracers, we love the fact that you have artificial intelligence. So you basically can use tracers to identify relevant cases and statutes, and you are even able to go through tracers to draft your brief. Okay, depending upon the complexity of the brief you are trying to draft. And tracers also use, in some cases, natural language search. So you are able to actually enter a question in normal everyday language instead of using keywords or Boolean connectors and phrases. So this is kind of cool. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. What we love about the tracers also is that you have a vast array of case summaries that you can actually access. So basically, this is kind of cool because you want to have as deep and broad as possible when we talk about doing investigative research. Okay, you also have citation checking. This is totally possible, basically within tracers, so you can identify whether a case, for instance, a case or statute for that matter, has been repealed, overruled, modified, or reversed. Okay, you also have within tracers the capacity to do filter search. So filter search means what? Filter search means that you are able to search for, like, you can restrict your search to certain parts or features of cases and statutes, like the date, judge, or jurisdiction. And we also love the fact that within tracers you have a pretty deep research history capability, so you are able to find the results of previous searches, especially when it comes to specific assets you are thinking, you're going after, whether it is people or places. Okay, and especially if you want to see if the law has changed with new results. You also have let's say the capacity to actually organize everything into research folders. Okay, this is kind of cool. You have PDF Word downloads capacity within tracers. You have suggestions also. So tracers is really good. Is really good in terms of studying your research history and suggesting like a certain pattern of research. I would say research projects, like for you as you go forward. You also have you also have alerts. So tracers actually has a capacity, let's say a capacity rather, yeah, a capacity to actually flag key assets, key people, key places, judges, attorneys, okay, court administrators, for instance. So Crystal is able to flag key people and cases so that you get an email notification if those people or those cases are cited in a new case, statute, or secondary source. So this is kind of cool. But the great thing we love about tracers is the open API. So open API opens up possibilities for further integrations. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about tracers. This is a tracers review, and tracers is an investigative research software tool. Let's talk about the value added here. So when you think about tracers, I mean, I want you to think about a database that is actually that actually does a lot of, let's say, provides a lot of benefits for a vast array of professionals. So that's what we love a lot. We love the fact that the tracers doesn't actually limit the ecosystem of research. So this is kind of cool because then you have a constellation of research professionals who can really parlay their expertise, or who can really take advantage, if you will, who can really take advantage of tracers features. So when we talk about legal professionals, you have practice areas are as diverse as family law, criminal defense law, personal injury law, real estate law, collections attorneys also. You have estate planning and probate law. This is kind of cool. You have bankruptcy law. You have civil litigation law. You have immigration law. You have general litigation law. And you have all practice areas. So basically, you have the capacity to really you have a comprehensive, if you will, a comprehensive ecosystem of practice areas that you can really come from and still benefit from tracers features. So when we talk about categories of research, you can do asset search. This is pretty good, and we're talking about like going as thorough as possible. You can do property records search. You can do legal research software. You can do criminal record search. You can do public records search. You can do due diligence. So depending upon the judicial process you are in, you will find tracers to be very, very comprehensive. Again, this is what we call the more affordable version of more established investigative research software tools. Okay, you also are able to locate witnesses through tracers. You're able to think about the client collections if need be. You can actually conduct fraud investigations. You are able to authenticate businesses. And what we also love within tracers is that you are able to examine personal and business relationships. So this is really, really thorough and really fantastic. Let's quickly talk about the industries that can really benefit from tracers, okay? And the cool thing is that when we analyze tracers, not only do we analyze the complexity of the research that you can actually conduct through tracers, we also think about the seasonality. So because the thing is that when we talk about when we analyze investigative research from a law perspective, you need to understand that geography plays an important role, but also does history. So timing plays an important role, okay? So when we talk about industries that really can benefit from tracers features, first of all, we have investigators. So investigators can do a lot of things, really can perform a lot of researches through tracers. You have address search, background investigations. You have OSINT's open source intelligence rather, identity verification and authentication. You have deceased records. You have asset recovery, cold case investigation, fraud investigations, forensic investigations, insurance investigations, and investigation agencies. So again, here you have a large array of possibilities here when it comes to investigators. What about law enforcement? Well, law enforcement can also use tracers, for example, for crime and criminal investigations, for law enforcement training and case support, for law enforcement data sharing, for transparency and community policy. And another industry that can really benefit from tracers is collections. So we're talking here about skip tracing, right party contacts, phone appends, repossessions industry, debt recovery assessment, bankruptcy records, collection agency, debt buyers, first party collections, accounts receivable management, and third party collections. What about corporations? Yes, you have business due diligence services, watch list screening software, know your customer, so KYC and due diligence, vendor risk assessment, customer identification software, collection and recovery software, fraud analytics software, identity management systems, identity management software, and manual review and fraud investigations. Then you also have financial services. So basically here you have investigations and due diligence, know your customer, customer due diligence, CDD, big data analytics, customer and vendor risk assessment software, list generation and data augmentation, customer identification program, general investigations, ongoing monitoring, customer data enrichment software, fraud and identity management software, collections and recovery software. And for government use, you have collection software, state and local government, business investigation software, identity management software, healthcare provider fraud software, tax and revenue software, public assistance fraud prevention software, property tax fraud software, tax refund, identity fraud software. What about insurance? You have data prefill, insurance claims management software, fraud detection software, insurance data analytics and modeling, location intelligence software, active risk management software, coding and underwriting solutions. You can also use tracers for healthcare. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are talking about tracers. This is a tracers review. Let's quickly talk about the solutions here. So when you think about tracers, it's really important to understand that there are some solutions that tracers comes with, and especially when it comes to the granularity of that solution, okay? The comprehensiveness of the task. So first of all, you are able to actually do skip tracing through tracers. This is really good when it comes to solving a constellation of cases or a constellation of actions that are related to case law, if you will. Okay, so skip tracing is really important. You can also do through tracers. You can do batch skip tracing. So here we're speaking about introducing a layer or an extra layer of efficiency into a process that it's already efficient. But tracers really goes I would say the extra mile, if you will. You also have identity verification. So this is really good. What we love about identity verification through tracers is that things are done in a seamless way. So you are verifying identity without actually, I would say, intruding onto somebody's identity. So this is really cool. We love that a lot. We love the seamlessness part of this whole process. You also have, so when we talk about the API, so what I was just telling you earlier is that tracers is really great when it comes to API. So basically, they have a constellation of API functionalities that all are able to make your third-party app work seamlessly with tracers. Okay, so for example, you have phone pen API. You have identity verification API, so this is really good. You have collection agency API. You have financial institutions API, and you have healthcare API. Again, so if you are in those industries, you have the ability to actually connect to tracers to actually advance your operation. So this is really cool. And also another solution that tracers is really good at is batch processing. So tracers helps you with batch processing. And again, here we are speaking about efficiency here. Another solution that tracers has is searches and reports. So searches and reports are pretty cool because you are accessing a very comprehensive database here that can help you with granular reports and searches for that matter. Let me talk to you about the specs you need to pay attention to as you actually go through tracers. It's really important to understand that, for all intents and purposes, no matter what, tracers remains an online search solution. Okay, and so it can be really accessed from any modern web browser, Mozilla, Chrome. You have, you name it, Safari, and so this is kind of cool. Additionally, with its API, many users will even be able to incorporate it into their practice management solutions directly, right? That's what I was just telling you earlier when I mentioned phone and pen API, identity verification API, collection agency API, financial institutions API, and healthcare API. This is really good. And so tracers does not advertise, I'll talk about pricing later on, but tracers does not advertise its pricing publicly. Since this is a rather competitive market, this is not unusual. And prospective users will want to contact them directly to determine pricing. And so basically, tracers, again, does not directly, I would say natively, integrate with any law practice management software out there. However, their API is intended to allow savvy users to integrate the information into the platform of their choice. And basically, it's really important to understand that Tracers actually has a constellation of sources where it gets its information from, but it's not a case law database. I just want you to really pay attention to that. And in terms of secondary sources, you're talking about the public records, like data coming from public records. But Tracers, for all intents and purposes, once again, is very easy to use. Okay, very easy to set up. As a matter of fact, you don't need to set up anything because it is a cloud-based solution. It's an online solution, so you just log in. You just sign up and log in. Okay, this is what it is. And Tracers always has reminders and alerts, so you are able to set up alerts and reminders for various search types. Let me give you a few extras before we close to this conversation. So when you think about Tracers, I want you to think about a tool that's great for all kinds of industries. So if you're listening to me right now and you are in a certain industry, you will love Tracers for a lot of things. So Tracers has been around for over 20 years now. So this is, they've been a search specialist, and many of their employees have a great deal of experience in this industry. So after signing up, firms are basically assigned a dedicated account manager who can serve as a search specialist in those hard to query matters. Okay, you also have API and batch processing. So Tracers understand that many times law offices handle high volume searches. So to help with this, they provide an API that allows connection to other software. So additionally, they allow for batch processing of searches. For example, users can easily skip trace all the return notice letters in a class action lawsuit. In terms of pricing, and I'll speak about pricing in the last section of today's conversation, but searches can be priced in two separate ways, and they are available prior to querying their system. So for light users, there is a per search pricing based on the number and type of transactions. For heavier users, there is a monthly fee tier that allows for unlimited searching for the same price every single month. And although the pricing is not made public, it is surprisingly reasonable when requested. And so Tracers is for a large constellation of players. So attorneys who frequently skip trace or commonly have a need to locate individuals will likely find this application helpful, and as will those who need to do opposition research on social media accounts like family law attorneys or insurance defense. Additionally, probate attorneys or those who are often looking to find relatives and acquaintances of clients will likely find Tracers helpful. However, and I really need to insist on that, this is not a case law database like CaseText or Fastcase, nor does it have any secondary research sources like Westlaw or LexisNexis. Further, attorneys who do not frequently need to perform these searches may find it easier to search public records themselves. Okay, but then again, having access to both public and private records in one solution can actually help save time and provide a more complete search than going it alone, in our view, of course. So in terms of pricing, I think I've already said that here. You need to contact Tracers for more information. They'll get back to you and they'll start a conversation with you, and before giving you everything that you need. But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Let me do a quick recap here. So this was a Tracers review. So here I give you the overview, the value added, the specs, the extras, the pricing, and now the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.